For days on end, relentless downpours have battered Shaanxi Province, turning the land into a disaster zone. Dark, heavy clouds rolled in, blanketing the sky in a suffocating gray as if foretelling calamity. By nightfall, the roar of pounding rain mixed with thunderous crashes of lightning, echoing through mountains and valleys before pouring mercilessly onto the plains. In the blink of an eye, tiny streams swelled into raging waterfalls, swallowing homes, roads, and farmlands. All of Shaanxi seemed to be devoured by an endless sea of water. In downtown Xi'an, chaos erupted on the very first night. Murky floodwaters surged waist-high through neighborhoods, tearing through streets once packed with traffic. Homes, shops, and eateries were hastily locked before being swallowed by the darkness of the rising waters. Residents, in sheer panic, scrambled onto rooftops and high-rises for safety. Under flickering flashlights, hundreds of desperate hands waved frantically for help amid the blinding sheets of rain. In Wuchai County, rescue teams fought relentlessly against the torrent. Day and night, they built makeshift sandbag levees around hospitals, schools, and other critical facilities. In the town square, the once proud flagpole stood isolated in a vast, endless flood. The crimson flag, soaked and drooping in the wind, became a haunting image that left witnesses speechless. Transportation across the province was crippled. Narrow rural roads were erased without a trace. Several large bridges cracked and collapsed, cutting off entire towns. On a vital highway in Baoji County, a stretch of road hundreds of feet long was torn away, with massive concrete slabs crashing into the valley below like pebbles. Trucks carrying essential goods sat stranded for hours, unable to move forward or back. Rail service was suspended, with many trains canceled, worsening the supply crisis. Meanwhile, electricity and water systems failed across vast areas. In many towns, power lines sagged and sparked before plunging neighborhoods into complete darkness. Families lit candles and relied on flashlights to endure pitch-black nights. Tap water stopped running, forcing people to line up for tanker deliveries or collect rainwater in makeshift containers. Repairs were delayed as soggy, unstable ground made every step perilous. Major cities like Baoji and Xi'an saw underground structures hit first. Countless subterranean malls, parking garages, and subway stations turned into giant reservoirs. Escalators froze. Crowds panicked and pushed to escape as floodwaters poured down stairwells. Within moments, dozens of cars sat submerged in basements, vanishing beneath black water, a scene chillingly reminiscent of the Zhengzhou tragedy years ago. The countryside fared no better. Corn and wheat fields, ready for harvest, drowned under stagnant floodwaters for weeks, beyond saving. Thick layers of mud buried the soil, turning vibrant green crops into fields of brown death. Farmers dug drainage ditches in desperation, salvaging what little they could, though most knew the harvest was lost. Livestock pens were flooded, wiping out hundreds of animals in just hours, pushing families into deeper despair. Authorities mobilized thousands of rescue workers, soldiers, and volunteers. Bulldozers and excavators cleared mud from major roads to open paths for relief convoys. Military units delivered crates of clean water, bread, and rations to isolated communities. Schools, community centers, and even mosques became temporary shelters. Inside, children were wrapped in dry blankets, the elderly received medical care, and hot meals were handed out without pause. The solidarity became a vital lifeline. Loudspeakers blared nonstop warnings. Officials stressed that landslides and flash floods remained imminent as rain-soaked earth teetered on collapse. One more storm could bring entire hillsides crashing down, sweeping away villages. Major rivers kept rising, currents growing fiercer, surpassing safety limits. Residents were urged to keep emergency bags ready, remain alert, and steer clear of danger zones. When the rain paused, some families returned home, only to be crushed by what they saw. Floors caked with mud, furniture overturned, refrigerators washed into kitchens. Many houses bore deep cracks, shattered windows, and irreparable damage. For some, everything vanished in a single night. Rebuilding would take weeks, even months, and demand immense costs. Yet amid the wreckage, neighbors worked side by side, sweeping mud, sharing sacks of rice and bottles of water, a powerful reminder of unity. The greatest concern lies in the devastation of Shaanxi's agricultural lifeline. Thousands of acres of crops were wiped out, corn and wheat drowned, sweet potatoes rotted under mud, vegetable plots beyond revival. Famous apple, pear, and persimmon orchards snapped and shed fruit en masse. Hundreds of hectares of protective mountain forests washed away, stripping natural barriers and raising the specter of worse landslides in future rainy seasons. The livestock industry also suffered crushing blows. Tens of thousands of chickens, ducks, goats, pigs, and cattle perished in flooded pens. Herds were swept away in the currents. For farmers, this was more than financial ruin. It was the destruction of their very way of life. Food shortages are already looming in the short term, while restocking herds and rebuilding irrigation systems will take immense effort in the long run. Though Shaanxi has faced floods in its history, never has it endured a catastrophe this sweeping. The damage cuts across every aspect of life: transportation, utilities, education, healthcare, agriculture, and daily survival. Every road destroyed, every field submerged, every animal lost marks another deep wound. Recovery will require not only massive financial resources, but also the grit and unity of its people. Yet even in this tragedy, hope glimmers. Outstretched hands pulling others to safety, exhausted volunteers staying awake night after night, neighbors rebuilding collapsed roofs together. These scenes embody the resilience of Shaanxi. They are a sobering reminder of humanity's fragility against nature and a call to live more carefully, united, and prepared for the trials yet to come.